to report, sir. We should look around.
Good to see you, Inquisition.
You said you were once Arl Eamon's stablemaster.
Master of the Mounts. Fereldans don't appreciate horses like they do in Orlais, but they knew my name in Val Royeaux. My horses took sick less and carried a man longer than any of those fancy prancers they've got. You take care of my people, and I'll make sure your Inquisition is riding right.
What can you tell me about the wilderness around here?
Got some old ruins in the forest, from long before any king of Ferelden. The lakes are pretty, though when the weather's odd, you hear tell of spirits. Beyond that, my daughter Sienna set up a track just over there. Fool girl likes to race the horses.
Farewell.
Make her be with you.
Yes?
That's enough for now.
Another time, then. Greetings.
I'd like to get to know you better.
You would?
Is that a problem?
Not entirely. I'm just curious as to your motivation.
Is there any harm in us becoming a little closer?
Plenty.
Is that right?
As you wish. My name is Cassandra Pentagast, daughter of the Royal House of Navarra, 78th in line for the Navarran throne. I joined the Seekers of Truth as a young woman, and was with the Order until they withdrew from the Chantry. I remained as the Divine's right hand, carrying out her order to form the Inquisition. And here we are. That's all there is to know, my lord.
You're a member of Navarra's royal family.
The Pentagasts are a very large clan. Half of Cumberland could say the same.
Really?
No, but it feels that way. I have hundreds of relatives so distant they need charts to prove we're related at all. And they have them. Oh yes. The Pentagasts value their precious blood like it runs with gold.
And you joined the Seekers to get away from that?
It was a life worth getting away from. The Pentagasts are famed for dragon hunting, but few actually pursue the craft. Most are fat and lazy. They pay lip service to the Maker and care only for idle pleasures and past glories. My brother was all that kept me in Navarra. Once he was gone, so was I.
Tell me about your brother.
I would prefer not to speak of Anthony. Another time, perhaps.
So you were the right hand to the Divine.
To Divine Justinia, yes. And Divine Beatrix before her, in fact. The position is normally reserved for Templars of the Knights Divine, but my circumstances were unusual.
Unusual how?
You don't know the story? Thank the Maker. I will tell you if you wish, but it isn't as exciting as some drum it up to be. The short version is that I once saved the previous Divine's life. My reward was becoming her right hand.
But what does a right hand do exactly?
What is your hand capable of? It gives, it takes, it beckons. It makes a fist. Liliana and I extended the Divine's reach beyond the Grand Cathedral. We went where she could not. After Beatrix, I was tired of the position and wanted to return to the Seekers. But Justinia convinced me to stay. Her vision for the future gave me hope.
You thought she could really change things?
Justinian knew the war was coming long before it began. She tried to avert it, but the forces arrayed against her were too strong. Sometimes you have to break a bone so it can be reset. That's where the Inquisition comes in. It was to be the answer. A means to preserve as well as an agent for change. I only wish she had lived to see it.
So what's the story about you becoming the right hand?
Sweet Andraste, do you really want to hear that? It was, what, 18, 20 years ago? Some still discuss it like it happened yesterday. The tale gets bigger each time it's told. I barely recognize myself within it now.
I'm sure you're just being modest.
I was there. I think I know what happened. To hear others tell it, I alone saved Divine Beatrix from a horde of dragons sent to assault the Grand Cathedral. Rather impressive for such a young seeker, wouldn't you say?
And the truth is?
I stumbled upon a conspiracy to kill Beatrix. A Templar Knight Commander was at its heart, and there was a dragon battle at the Grand Cathedral that I had help from loyal mages who rallied to the cause. They freed the dragons from magical control. Without them, the Divine and I would both have died. Yet I became the right hand, and they are forgotten.
You're delightful. You know that?
No, I do not know that. I object. There is nothing delightful about me.
I beg to differ.
I think I preferred you in the stocks.
I'll let you get back to work.
What can I do for you?
Iron Bull said the chargers were at my disposal. Do you have any suggestions on how to use them?
Nothing jumps out at me. If I come up with any ideas, I'll let you know.
I'd like to know more about the Iron Bull.
The Chief. First time I met him, he saved my life. I never thought I'd work for a Canary, but he grows on you. He's not like any commander I've ever worked for. That's for damn sure.
How's Iron Bull as a commander?
If you know what you're doing and hold up your end, he's easy. He doesn't accept any less. If it keeps us alive, he leads from the front, and if you've an idea that'll win the fight, he listens. I've seen bands whose captains had to prove they were swinging the biggest sword. Bull isn't like that. The Chargers might give him more lip than you'd expect, but every one of us would lay down our lives for the big ass.
How did a Tevinter soldier wind up in a Kunari spy's mercenary company?
I wasn't a soldier at the time. I was in some trouble, trying to flee to Vinter. A Tribune and his men caught me in a border town tavern. They meant to make an example of me. Bull killed them. Gave up his eye doing it. Patched me up and asked if I was looking for work. I've been putting up with his jokes ever since.
That's how he lost the eye?
Yes. The guards had me on the tavern floor when Bull came inside and yelled for them to stop. One of them saw trouble coming and figured he'd finish me off. The guard had a flare. Bull put himself between me and the blow. Big horned idiot. Didn't even know me.
Is it strange to work for a Kunari?
He hasn't tried to convert us to the Qun, if that's what you're asking. Bull's chargers don't care who you light a candle for, so long as your shield stays up. If he hadn't told me he was Ben Hasroth, I'd have thought he'd left that life behind.
I didn't expect he'd tell you all that he was a spy.
Not the whole band, but those who've been around long enough to trust. He figures most of us would find out sooner or later, and it should come from him. Eyes to eye, he says. It's never messed up a job. He just writes letters back home. Lots of the boys write letters back home.
We'll talk later.
They've got good form. Cullen's putting his Templar training to good use.
Did Cullen tell you he was a Templar? He's not wearing the armor.
He didn't have to. Might not be a Templar shield, but it's a Templar holding it. He angles the shield just a bit down. Helps direct fire or acid away, so it doesn't spray right into your face. Canary learned the same thing when we trained to fight Tevinter mages. Your Templar's doing good work.
I'm impressed by what Cullen has accomplished with the troops.
Damn right. It takes time to build a group into a team, but he's got their loyalty. Now he just needs them to make a decent shield wall, and they'll be good to go. Biggest problem for the Inquisition right now isn't on the front line. It's at the top. You've got no leader, no Inquisitor.
Then maybe we need one. I'd be willing.
You? Huh. Why you?
Nobody else seems to be stepping forward. And since I can seal rifts, I'm here whether I like it or not. If it proved necessary to have an Inquisitor, I could make a go of it.
You sounded like real Kunari for a second there. Talvasha. My people don't pick leaders from the strongest, or the smartest, or even the most talented. We pick the ones willing to make the hard decisions, and live with the consequences. Who knows? Maybe you sealed the breach. The Chantry gets off its ass and all those soldiers go home and get fat.
You think?
It could happen. It won't, but it could.
These truths the Maker has revealed to me, as there is but one life. Listen.
If I had something with that kind of power, I'd be retired, living like Empress.
The Chantry isn't supporting us.
I told you that it was complicated.
Closing the breach is our primary goal. But I hope we might also discover what was used to create it. Any artifact of such power is dangerous. The destruction of the Conclave proves that much.
We would do well to try to recover whatever created the breach.
Liliana's people have scoured the area near the blast and found nothing. Whatever the artifact was, it is no longer there. In any case, did you need me for anything?
We'll talk later.
Goodbye.
Thank you for hurrying with the potion. We have some...
I heard the Templars have withdrawn. Seems odd.
Blessed are the peacekeepers, the champions of the just. Blessed are the righteous, the lights in the shadow. In their blood, the Maker's will is written. Is that what you want from us? blood. To die so that your will is done, is death your only blessing?
You speak for Andraste, no? What does the Maker's prophet have to say about all of this? What's his game?
How is this a game?
Do you see the sky? What about the temple ruins? The bones lying in the dust? Even if you didn't support the Divine's peace, you wouldn't call this right. Who could? So many innocent lives. The faithful murdered where the holiest of holies once stood. If the Maker willed this, what is it if not a game or a cruel joke?
I speak for no one but myself, and I have no answers for you.
You probably don't even worship the Maker. Lucky. He asks a lot. The Chantry teaches that the Maker abandoned us. He demands repentance for our sins. He demands it all. Our lives, our deaths. Justinia gave him everything she had, and he let her die.
I'm sorry. Her death has clearly hit you hard.
Not just me. All of us. She was the Divine. She led the faithful. She was their heart. If the Maker doesn't intervene to save the best of his servants, what good is he? I used to believe I was chosen, just as some say you are. I thought I was fulfilling his purpose for me, working with the Divine, helping people. But now she's dead. It was all for nothing. Serving the Maker meant nothing.
Maybe you have another purpose. I could help you find it.
No, this is my burden. I regret that I even let you see me like this. It was a moment of weakness. It won't happen again. Come, to work then. We will speak later.
With passioned breath does the darkness creep. It is the whisper in the night, the lie.
Did you see the message I sent?
Yes, thank you. Let us begin.
Let's see what we have.
All right.
The Templars must help us close the breach. The Order was founded to fight magic.
We must first convince the Lord Seeker to bring the Templars out of exile.
We've received word from a Knight recruit. They gather at Theronfall Redoubt.
It has been vacant for decades. Why go there?
We must approach the Lord Seeker again to get anywhere. We can ask him then.
If we present a plan to seal the breach, the Templars may ally with us.
First, we must prove ourselves a more attractive prospect.
If it's status the Lord Seeker seeks, the Inquisition will approach him after allying with the noblest houses in Orlais.
They'll come with us to Theronfall and demand the Templars' help close the breach.
You believe that will work?
Even the Lord Seeker would find it difficult to ignore so many nobles on his doorstep.
Yes, especially when led by the Herald of Andraste.
Is it my good looks you need, or my winning smile?
Rumors you were saved from the fate by Andraste have grown legion among the Templars.
We've done our part to encourage them.
A herald with a few companions may be dismissed, easily set aside. That same herald returning with noble support will be reconsidered, as will the power of the Inquisition.
This could be why Andraste saved me, to lead her Templars against the breach.
Perhaps also to convince the Lord Seeker to abandon the mania that has seized him.
With respect, after his appearance in Val Royeaux, hang what the Lord Seeker thinks.
We do not need the Lord Seeker. We need his Templars, with or without his approval. The breach will not wait for our differences to settle.
Good news. Several noble or legion houses will petition the Templars to help us stop the breach. Lord Abernash will approach you. Sign nothing he offers, but...
The Herald of Andraste! Lord Esmerel Abernash, honored to participate. It is not unlike the second dispersal of the reclaimed Dales. Nothing? Divinity puts you above such things, I suppose. The Lord Seeker is willing to hear our petition about closing the breach. A credit to our alliance with the Inquisition. Care to mark the moment? 10 Orlesian houses walk with you.
The Inquisition values this alliance, Lord Abernash. The Templars must see reason. We can't let the breach endanger us any longer.
Oh yes, ghastly-looking thing. The Lord Seeker can't think we're ignoring it. Speaking of which, I don't suppose you'd divulge what finally got their attention. Rumor will, if you won't.
What do you mean?
The Lord Seeker won't meet us until he greets the Inquisition in person. Quite a surprise after the spat in Val Royeaux.
The Inquisition only asks the Lord Seeker help us close the breach.
Then it's all been arranged by your ambassador. Let the diplomats work their magic if you trust them. Between you and I, the Chantry never took advantage of their Templars. Wiser heads should steer them. Here we are, Therinfall Redoubt.
Defensible. I like it. Someone worked out some issues building this place.
It appears they've sent someone to greet you. Present well. Everyone is a little tense for my liking.
The Lord Seeker changed his mind about us rather quickly. Is he known for that?
Perhaps he thinks you'll rescue him from this sea of petticoats.
Have you looked at the sky, Sir Knight?
Of course, but...
Is your order not sworn to destroy heretical magic?
Yes, but...
Then if the Templars won't seal this breach, action against you shall be required.
Action against us?
The Empress of Orlais, my dear woman, listens to her thoughts.
I present Knight Templar Sir Delrin Barris, second son of Ban Jevrin Barris of Ferelden. Sir Barris, may I be so honored as to present Lord Esmeral Abanage?
I'm the one who sent word to Cullen. He said the Inquisition works to close this breach in the Vale. I didn't think you'd bring such lofty company.
Paris. Moderate holdings, your family. And the second son?
This promise of status has garnered interest from the Lord Seeker. Beyond sense. The sky burns with magic, but he ignores all calls to action until your friends arrive.
The Lord Seeker does realize that's a rip in the Fade hanging above our heads.
The commanders say he's considering the situation. Maker knows how. The Lord Seeker's actions make no sense. He promised to restore the Order's honor, then marched us here to wait. Templars should know their duty, even when held from it.
A Templar who remembers duty. I thought we'd never find one.
Win over the Lord Seeker, and every able-bodied knight will help the Inquisition seal the breach.
I have a feeling the Lord Seeker will take some convincing.
I wish I could reassure you. Lately, he sees no one but the officers. We've been asked to accept much after that shameful display in Valroyo. Our truth changes on the hour.
Don't keep your betters waiting, Barris. There's important work for those born to it.
The Lord Seeker has a request before you meet him. These are the standards. An honored right centered on the people, the Maker, and the Order. The Lord Seeker asks that you perform the rite so he may see the order in which you honor them.
What if I fail?
Well, there's no correct answer. The ritual simply shows Watchers who you are and what you value.
We'd be honored. If that's what the Lord Seeker asks of the Inquisition.
Not the Inquisition. The Lord Seeker changed everything to meet you. Not the Inquisition. You. By name.
Why?
I don't know. He's been fixated on you ever since your horde of nobles arrived.
The Lord Seeker makes us shuffle flags around. Refuse! Let's meet the man already.
We'll complete the ritual as the Lord Seeker requests.
When you've completed the rite, I'll take you to him. Once you finish the standards, the Lord Seeker will see you, Herald.
Hang your own draperies, knight. We've business to conduct. What does the Lord Seeker want to see, Templars?
The Herald's choice, Abanash. It's yours.
He's welcome to it.
The people, mages and common folk alike. It's for their safety.
People first. I'll get behind that.
I'm sure the common folk will be pleased to hear that someone will battle.
I don't understand the order. I pray this has a higher purpose.
Traditionally, a participant in the rite now explains their choices to those assembled.
This is a question of what I believe. I let faith guide my answers.
On a whim? If it wasn't to impress the Lord Seeker, why bother at all?
I suppose those are your intentions.
My intent is to deal with people who matter. You helmed louts are wasting the Inquisition's time, and my time. Unacceptable!
The Lord Seeker awaits you both. Follow me.
Misty again. Cold today, too.
You're the one who said following the Lord Seeker would bring us to a better place.
Should we have stayed with the... If necessary, you know. You don't run a battlefield by committee.
Without faith, you've no knights. Knight Captain.
You were expecting the Lord Seeker. He sent me to die for you.
Knight Captain, Lord Esmerel Abernash, honored. It is not unlike the second dispersal of the reclaimed Dales. No doubt rank puts you above such things. A pity more people don't understand that.
This is the grand alliance the Inquisition offers.
Cerberus, I'm right in assuming the Knight Captain has seen better days.
You be ready.
Yes, be ready to be left behind, Knight Captain Denham.
The Lord Seeker had a plan, but the Herald ruined it by arriving with purpose. It sowed too much dissent.
Knight Captain, I must know what's going on.
You are all supposed to be changed. Now we must purge the questioning knights.
For once, I agree with her.
The Elder One is coming. No one will leave Therenfar who is not stained red.
Maker's breath.
We must test the Herald. The Lord Seeker will see.
Barely. If you use a healing elixir, he may survive. If he even deserves it.
We'll heal him. Let's judge the Knight Captain after we find his master.
I agree. We've no idea what came over him.
Knight Captain's keys. I would question the Lord Seeker about this Elder One.
These things, traitors to their kin. I'm more worried about them trying to kill us.
Kill that warrior!
Like no Templars I've ever seen.
Does that matter right now?
If it's weird and I haven't seen it, that's worrying.
Prepare them. Guide them to me.
Was that the Lord Seeker?
I didn't hear him.
Show me what you are. I would know you. You will be so much more.
I don't know what's happening. All the officers have been turned into those things.